Murray's been decapitated. I never knew this kind of evil existed.
Well, listen, Chicago's not for everybody.
Santa Claus Trilogy, or the Santa Clausology, as us true fans call it, is a trilogy of holiday movies starring Tim Allen as Santa Claus himself. The movies have become a yearly tradition for me to watch along with other Christmas specials, but I thought I could spread some Christmas cheer and talk about this franchise. Who's that at the door? Oh, it's you, Woodrow Wilson, the 20th President of the United States. What do you want? Oh, is this a present for me? Oh, I mean, the thought's nice, but you did murder me. It's kind of a red flag, to be honest. Okay, there we go. Santa Claus is a weird Christmas movie. The film starts with Tim Allen at a Christmas party for his office. He is divorced and is an absent father to his son Charlie. Despite this, Tim Allen still tries his best, but isn't good enough. They go to product placement where all the other dads are.
Everybody likes Denny's. It's an American institution.
After product placement, they go home and he reads Charlie A Christmas Story goodnight. But just as the night begins to come to an end, a new beginning emerges.
Hey, you! What's that? Whoa, whoa!
Tim Allen brutally, viciously, mauls Santa to death. Tim Allen starts looting Santa's corpse immediately, while Charlie discovers the reindeer on top of the roof. Charlie then begins to steer the reindeer down the street as some very poorly aged effects happen. They then begin to do Santa's job and give gifts to children in the houses. He gets shot at and barked at by a very cute dog. After they finish, they go to the North Pole where we meet the best character, Bernard. He's the head elf of the North Pole and explains the Santa Claus to Tim Allen.
The Santa Claus. In putting on the suit and entering the sleigh, the wearer waives any and all rights to any previous identity, real or implied, and fully accepts the duties and responsibilities of Santa Claus in perpetuity until such time that wearer becomes unable to do so by either accident or design.
He also gives Charlie a magic snow globe. Tim Allen and Charlie go to bed and wake up the next day at their house. Tim Allen thinks it's all a dream, whereas Charlie remembers it and remembers it all to be true. Because Charlie talks about the night he had, Neil and Laura think Tim Allen has been manipulating Charlie to think that he's Santa to like him more. A montage of Charlie just being a kid with an imagination is for some reason very worrying to Laura and Neil. So Neil decides the Reddit method is the way to solve this problem and debates a literal child on why Santa is illogical.
Not logical. How can one man, in one night, visit all the children of the world?
Tim Allen is about to tell Charlie that Santa isn't real, but backs out last minute and convinces Charlie to keep it as a secret from everyone else instead. The film then becomes a body horror, as Tim Allen slowly transforms into the man he brutally killed and murdered that fateful night. Then I swear, I didn't edit it, it'll sound like I did, but they play the Jeopardy theme as Tim Allen eats his food. Yes, that scene viewed was not edited or altered in any way. As his body continues to morph, he unconsciously dresses like Santa. His thoughts are no longer his own. His primal urge to wear a white shirt and red jacket have taken over. The Tim Allen we knew is gone. As Tim Allen loses who he was, Laura and Neil apply for full custody of Charlie. After Charlie snitches about the night at the North Pole, Tim Allen loses custody of him. Tim Allen, in his unbridled but still jolly rage, in his now Santa Clausified body, decides to kidnap Charlie consensually with the help of Bernard. The police then start to arrest every Santa on site, hoping to find Tim Allen. Tim Allen and Charlie embark on a trip to deliver all the presents to the children around the world. They arrest Tim Allen and the elf FBI have to break him out of jail. Tim Allen drops Charlie off at Neil and Laura's house, where he tells Charlie to stay. Tim Allen rides the sleigh and throws bombs off his sleigh to stop the police from shooting him. He flies away from the scene as we see Charlie shake the snow globe hoping for his father to come back. The movie ends with Tim Allen and Charlie flying around the planet, giving gifts to children all over the world. Overall, I'd say The Santa Claus is a very odd movie. It's something I enjoy now for sure, but it's such an odd movie for kids. I mean, the whole basis of the plot is that Tim Allen killed Santa and stole his identity. And even if that isn't really enough to mess with kids, it's just a slow descent into sadness. Tim Allen loses custody of his kid, he's sarcastic to everyone. But there's also just a bunch of jokes that aren't appropriate for kids.
Gary, nice. Veronica, very nice.
If I had to compare it to anything, it would be Jingle All the Way. And I love Jingle All the Way, but it's just not the type of Christmas movie for children. Honestly, I'd say Jingle All the Way is more for kids than the Santa Claus. But I'm not really sure if Disney knew who their main audience was for this movie. But it did extremely well at the box office. So what do I know? I give the Santa Claus a 6 out of 10. No, no, no. Leave, leave. I never want to see you again. Get the hell out of here. Leave. I didn't want you here. I never wanted you here. Leave now. Oh my god, please get out. I hate you so much. Please just leave. I do not like you, and I want you to understand this. I do not like you. 8 years later, we got the Santa Claus 2. This time directed by Michael Lembeck instead of John Pasquin, who directed the first movie. The movie starts differently compared to the first movie. In the second movie, the elves try to disguise the North Pole from this plane flying overhead. They almost get caught because our new character, Curtis, plays with the dancing Santa toy. We also see Chet, a new reindeer in training, and I guess our mascot for the series, even though Comet gets more screen time and they're essentially the same character. Meanwhile, Charlie from the first movie, all grown up, breaks into his school to vandalize it, but as he does this, he gets caught by the principal.
Hello, Jerry. Hello, Newman.
Meanwhile, Curtis is nervous to tell Tim Allen about some bad news. Tim Allen then learns that his son Charlie is on the naughty list due to breaking and entering, but that's not the only bad news.
True love not valid in the state of Utah. Holy matrimony. I gotta get married.
Tim Allen then learns he has until Christmas Eve to get married or he won't be Santa anymore as his body returns to normal. We meet the Council of Legendary Figures, Father Time, Mother Nature, the Tooth Fairy with an identity crisis.
I got it. How about this? The Molinator.
Cupid, Sandman, and the Easter Bunny. What the hell is this? What the hell is that? Why the hell is that? Who thought this looked okay?
I have 33,000 offspring.
Curtis proposes they make a copy of Santa while Tim Allen is off trying to get married. The clone gets made, but is lacking with any knowledge. Tim Allen wants Bernard to gaslight the elves into thinking that Toy Santa is actually him.
There's now a more supple veneer to his skin and an added luster to the thickness of his hair.
So even though this movie takes place 8 years later, I'd say the effects still don't look good, and honestly, at points I think they look worse than the original. I don't know why they changed the reindeer's design slightly. They made the eyes and pupils bigger. Honestly, just creeps me out, I won't lie. Maybe I'm a little baby, I don't know. Tim Allen goes to school to talk about Charlie's behavior. Toy Santa then begins to not only get drunk on hot cocoa, but drunk on power as he claims the throne to the North Pole.
I think Santa feels a little buzz. Woo!
As he begins to grow in power, he asks to see the naughty and nice list. He then starts putting all the kids on the naughty list due to all of the kids being bad. But worst of all, absolutely shits on these kids in a game of football.
This is a lot of fun.
It is messed up. I don't think I've ever recovered from this scene. Charlie vandalizes the school again.
Hello, Jerry. Hello, Newman.
Tim Allen can't believe that Charlie vandalized the school again and talks to the principal out of suspension and to community service. Santa then starts to make an army to stop the elves from resisting his tyrannical rule.
This guy's not Santa. He's a toy. Don't let him ruin Christmas.
Thank you for those kind words, Bernard.
Tim Allen uses his limited magic that he has left to give gifts to all the staff members to make the party less boring, and then uses the last of his magic to charm Miss Newman, and she falls in love with him. Tim Allen is informed by Curtis of the militant coup that has taken place in the North Pole. They try to lose their teeth to get the Tooth Fairy to show up so that he can take them to the North Pole.
Listen, sound military strategy involves taking your enemy by surprise. It's good strategy.
They get taken prisoner by evil Toy Santa. Charlie breaks in and saves Tim Allen, and the children fight back against the oppressive regime. They defeat evil Santa by burning him alive in the machine of his very own creation. Tim Allen then gets married, fulfilling the Mrs. Claus. Overall, the Santa Claus 2 is the best movie in this trilogy. This feels more like a Christmas movie. It's a bit more brighter, it's a bit more happy, and even the bad guy in the film is comically evil. I give the Santa Claus 2 a 6 out of 10. 4 years later, Santa Claus 3 came out, and this is the one fans of the Santa Clausology are the most mixed on. A lot of people consider this a cash grab, and I kind of agree. While the first movie didn't really leave room for a sequel, the concept of a Mrs. Claus has a funny enough pun that I can allow it. Bernard isn't even in this film, and he's the best character. So, really, what was the point here? They didn't even do a pun here, it's just the escape clause. So, again, I have to ask, what is the point? The film starts with Miss Claus about to give birth to her child. She's sad because she doesn't have the proper support, as Tim Allen is always busy being Santa. So he decides to bring her family to the North Pole, but disguise it as Canada and gaslight them.
Wow, that was an easy flight. We cruised right through customs.
Tim Allen decides to also bring the rest of his family to the North Pole. We get introduced to our new villain Jack Frost, played by Martin Short, who is jealous as he doesn't have his own holiday and Santa gets all the attention instead. The movie throws all logic against the wall, and that's saying a lot considering the first movie starts with Tim Allen killing Santa and assuming power. And the second one is Toy Santa start a revolution to control the North Pole. But the jokes here are more live-action cartoons with goofy sound effects that sound like added in post than actual punchlines. This time we learn about the Santa's Snow Globe collection, where if Santa chooses to no longer be Santa, all he has to do is hold the snow globe and say, "I wish I wasn't Santa anymore." Jack Frost then kills this little girl's parents in front of her and makes her watch.
What did you do?
I froze them.
Jack Frost then manipulates Tim Allen into saying the phrase and takes his place as Santa. Tim Allen then goes into an alternate timeline where 12 years later, he instead works at the company he worked at the beginning of the first movie. Laura got divorced from Neil and Carol transferred to a different school district. Jack Frost has turned the North Pole into a tourist attraction, ruining the spirit of Christmas. As Tim Allen nervously watches everyone around the North Pole, he realizes that everyone has fallen for consumerism, and that the true spirit of Christmas is about being with family, and not capitalism. But Jack Frost just turned the North Pole into essentially Disney World, so the messaging is a little ironic coming from Disney itself. And also the fact that the movie is largely regarded as a cash grab.
Remember how much your parents love you depends on how much they spend on your present.
Jack Frost performs a musical number for everyone.
North
Tim Allen tricks Jack Frost into saying the phrase, and they fight as Tim Allen restores the timeline to its proper order. The in-laws learn that Santa Claus is actually Tim Allen, and they marvel at all the other fantasy creatures. The only thing left to do now is unthaw Lucy's parents, but only Jack Frost can do it. She gives Jack Frost a hug and warms his heart. The movie ends on a shot with Tim Allen and Carol as they hold their baby. The Santa Claus 3 is weird because it's the most cartoonish and the most like a holiday film out of the three films. I know everyone hates on this movie, but I honestly think Martin Short saves it as Jack Frost. He's a fun character to watch and easily the best part of the movie. The effects have also greatly improved this time. They honestly look pretty good considering the time and probably the budget. While this is the worst film in the trilogy, I wouldn't consider it the worst by a wide margin. Ironically, despite this being the worst, I feel like this would be the one I would want to rewatch the most out of the three, if that makes sense. I give Santa Claus 3 a 4 out of 10. Earlier this year, there was a Santa Claus show, and overall it wasn't anything special. It was fine, just nothing that really stuck with me. Aside from the first episode making some really bad jokes.
Naughty.
Sorry, Santa, but that's classic ADHD.
You're killing me here, Edie.
And actually, sir, we're not supposed to say naughty anymore. It's the misunderstood list, and they also get gifts.
And the really weird intro that doesn't feel accurate to what the show is at all. I liked seeing Bernard again, but that was really the main highlight. Tim Allen wants to retire so that he can spend time with his family, and nothing is really bad about it. They retconned some stuff from the first three movies though. So for example, Santa intentionally fell off the roof in the first movie, and all the clauses existed to guide Tim Allen as he is the first human chosen Santa. Like I said, it's fine. It has some good moments. There's a few callbacks to the original movies. When next year comes around, I probably won't rewatch this, but just do the three movies instead. I give the Santa Clauses a 5 out of 10. Fine, I'll take your goddamn present. This is a pretty good gift if I say so myself. You know, it sounds really expensive. Wow, I can't wait to open this. You know what? I'm a little excited now. Is this your way to say you're sorry for murdering me? Wow, this is a box. sure know what to get me. Wow. You shouldn't have. You really, really shouldn't have. Wow. This really sucks. Wow. I really hate this, and I hate you.
And every morning, I start my day with the most delicious coffee in the whole world.
So this is what my life has come to.
Shut the f*** up!
That is unexpectedly hot. Jeez, that's good. It's like losing my virginity, but in my mouth. Thank you for making me.